I'm Lindsay, a PR consultant from Scotland. I help my clients get featured in the media, appear as guests on podcasts, and speak on stages. And in this video, I'm going to share the one PR tip that could save your reputation. Welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, it's kind of late morning. I have done quite a few hours work already because I just needed to get started this morning and I felt energized. Do you know, I absolutely love a Monday, and I cannot say that that's always been the case, especially in my corporate job. But waking up, going to bed on a Sunday night, not having like loads of dread in your mind, and waking up on a Monday morning feeling like you want to get started is honestly one of the most underrated feelings, I think, in life. But in this video, I am going to share one tip that could save your reputation. And please, 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 whatever you do, always, always, always follow the advice that I'm going to share in this video. And I'll explain why, obviously, shortly. So this morning I have been drafting a press release. I have been catching up on bits that needed done, replying to people, pitching clients for a few things this morning as well. I've had a call with someone that I was connected with through a mutual contact. I've had some backwards and forwards messages with different clients. One who's just had a letter from the King, so he's quite excited about that. So yeah, it's been a very, very quick morning so far. I have got a call in a couple of hours with a social media agency, potentially to support some stuff that we're doing through Storm Safe Crisis Communications, which is the other part of my business. And I've got more pitching to do later for clients as well. And I'm trying to have a bit of a creative day. I'm going to go out a walk and I'm going to just see what ideas flow as well. So stick around and I will give you that one tip that you do not want to miss. So I'm going to share with you probably the most valuable PR tip that I can give you. And it sounds like a really obvious one, but you would be amazed at the number of people who would do this or be tempted to do this, basically to try and save their reputation. But the irony is that by doing this one thing that I'm going to talk about, you put your reputation in more danger than ever. And that thing is telling a lie. When you lie in your PR, whether that's, going on a podcast as a guest and lying about something from your past or something that you've done or something that you offer, when you write something for the media or the media covers you in a feature and you tell a lie about that, if you're asked reactively by media about something going on in your business and you tell a lie about that, it could be that you speak on stage and you embellish something and make something up in front of the audience. All of these things would count as basically a PR own goal, I would suggest, a major own goal. And it's probably why politicians are so well known for never answering a question directly and always skirting round the actual answer, because they don't want to tell the truth, because they know the truth in a lot of cases is not what people want to hear. But at the same time, they know that they shouldn't lie, because if they do, it will catch up on them. So they actually don't really want to say anything. They just go round the houses and hope that their waffle that deflects everybody away from the actual answer. So the reason that we don't lie in PR is basically because in most cases you will be found out. And there's loads of high profile examples of this that I'll talk about in a wee second. But there's more chance than ever these days with social media, with technology, with, just information being available across so many different sort of spectrums, that you will be found out. If you say that something has happened or you've achieved something or you've done something and you haven't done it, or on the flip side, if you say you haven't done something and you actually have, there's so much more chance that you're going to be found out. And the problem with that is that the damage that does to your reputation is very, very difficult to come back from, because the trust between you and the audience is broken at that point. And it's like in any relationship, once the trust is broken, it's very, very difficult to reclaim it and rebuild it. And we've seen some examples of it here, you know, like in the UK, for example, there's Michelle Mone, who basically earned money through her and her husband's companies providing equipment to the government for COVID, or during COVID. And when the media found out about this, they asked her about it. She lied. She said it was nothing to do with her. And later, months later, ended up having to basically go on TV and admit that, yes, the media had been right in the first place and that she had told a lie about it. And basically the public perception of her now is very, very poor. The trust that people have, you know, in her has massively diminished, and her public profile as a result has seriously dipped. And it's all because she told a great big whopper and had to admit it. Who else can, I mean, we've had like Lance Armstrong. Again, there was a lot of evidence and chat behind the scenes that he was taking drugs, you know, performance enhancing drugs. He point blank said he was not. He denied it. It was a lie. He, years later, has basically admitted and made an entire documentary about the fact that he lied. And then we've got, like, even Bill Clinton. He, you know, denied that he had a certain type of relations with Monica Lewinsky. And in the end, the evidence showed that that was not the case, and he ended up basically having to admit that you know, what he said had not happened had happened. And yeah, it just does not do you any favours at all. It's very, very hard to come back from. It becomes the thing that you're known for, and that is where it all falls down PR-wise. You do not want to be known for the things that you've lied about. You want to be known for the things that you are contributing, for the things that you're delivering, for the knowledge that you're sharing in business anyway. So don't risk it. Like, don't risk it. There is no need. And yes, you can present things in a certain way. You can share the information that you want to share, but do not tell a direct lie. And like I said at the beginning, it's incredible how many people would be tempted to do this. You know, I've even worked with clients who've said, can't we just say that? And it's like, well, you can say anything you like, but the damage it will do when people find out that it's not true is just not worth the risk, in my opinion. So as your PR, I would strongly, strongly advise against it for all the reasons that I've mentioned. So yeah, get out there, put your best foot forward, present yourself in the best possible way, but don't tell lies. Oh man, this weather is wet but warm, so I'm actually so sticky right now from being out a walk. I'm sure you're happy to know that. Anyway, it's Wednesday afternoon, just came out to get some fresh air. I've been at my laptop pretty much all day and had a call as well with a client who I just started working with this month, and they've got a big media announcement this week, so we've been finalising that. So I'm just hoping that will go well when we send the press release out and do the announcement. And yeah, backwards and forwards with different clients on different things, looking for guests for a client who's got a podcast, doing some admin, just all the usual stuff really. Also this week I've got a call with a former client who I worked with a couple of years ago, and he's got quite a big high profile project launching at the start of the year, and he wants to do some PR work in the lead up to that potentially. So again, you know, it's one of those where if he decides he does want to go ahead, then I would sort of have to consider my capacity to do so. Having said that, he is quite high profile. He is he's got quite a high status in his field of expertise, and
having someone like that on my books as a client can actually open doors and create opportunities for other clients. So again, that can be quite helpful. So yeah, we'll see how that chat goes. But what I've come to learn is that I would always rather, you know, people are going to be disappointed at some point in you anyway, regardless of what you do. So I would always rather that someone's disappointed by the fact that I said no, I couldn't help them, than disappointed because I said yes and then I didn't have the capacity to deliver what they were hoping for. So yeah, that's what I've come to learn over the years. So if you need to say no, you need to say no, and that's just the way it is.
Oh, it's been a very, very fast week, a very busy week. There's been actually like quite a lot of reactive, like, you know, unplanned stuff that's come in, whether that's been calls or things that I've had to like draft quickly, or just unexpected things that needed to be done at shorter notice than normal, which is fine. But when you've already got a day full of, you know, things that need to get done on that day, and then you have to fit the unplanned stuff in as well, then that's when it all gets a little bit stressful. But that's what we do in PR. Nothing is predictable. Well, very few things. So a lot of it is reactive. But we've had some really nice successes this week, mainly behind the scenes. Like I've finally like locked in the speaking slots that I wanted for one of my speakers at an event next month. I got another client getting involved with that event as well, which she's absolutely thrilled about. One of my clients got incredible news about his product and an opportunity that's going to come along at the start of next year for that. Yeah, so there's just been a lot going on, and it's been good. I've enjoyed this week so far. And yeah, this afternoon I am just finishing off watching something. I need to put a proposal together for the former client that I spoke to. I don't know if we'll reach agreement or not, to be honest. We'll find out. But I've watched something that he sent me, and I'm just going to finish watching that and then put that proposal together. One sticky thing this week has been the announcement that I put out for my new client that I started with this month, and so far haven't seen much, but I won't get too downhearted. I'll give it always a day or two media wise, because quite often the media will pick up something the next day or in the coming days after you send something out, especially if it's not something that's like super time sensitive. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that that happens, and you know what, if it doesn't, we'll just own it and we'll try and push it out in a slightly different way to maybe a couple more specific people and just sell it differently, hopefully. So that's all you can do. Keep trying. We keep trying no matter what happens. So I hope you've had a week of keeping trying in your business as well if you're watching this. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking with this video. I hope you found it useful. Do not lie in your PR, please remember that. And I shall see you again the next time.